John is going to get me in. I just have to do him a favor. I'm gonna be great on the piano. I hope he don't make me swim with him again. The last time that we wrestled, I think I got away. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. I know he has that body like a bloater. It makes him extra buoyant, boy, he is a floater. A real bomb bobber. That John Wedgie got a hold on me now. The last time that we wrestled, I think I got away. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. The last time that we wrestled, I think I got away. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. John, you know I owe you big time, so come up behind me. I'll tell you about Peter, you can come round mine, I'll come round yours. I took my family to see Peter, I'll get down on all fours. I love the way you smell, the sweat in the canals. John, you have that something, I know we make great pals. Call it our little network, call it our little thing, call it our little secret, call it our little ring. That last time that we wrestled, I think I got away. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. That last time that we wrestled, I think I got away. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. That last time that we wrestled, I think I got away. He came up behind me and gave me that John Wedgie. John, say you got me. Oh, John, so high up behind me, where I want you, John. Say, you got me. Ooh, sexy, John. Pump up behind me. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just put it in good, we'll go passenger. A kiss, oh.
With footballers, like he said about Leeds, and when you do things like that about a man like Stuart Pearce, I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something, he went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that, but I'll tell you, you can tell him now, be watching it, we're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something, and I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them, love it.
Just put it in good, we'll go passenger. A kiss, oh, how I wish for a passenger. Good kiss, make me a baby in a windy house. Passenger, be my mommy, passenger.
She was up for a threesome, so who was the third? Would Chris do life in prison to protect his bird? I heard she can go like the clappers. That brown bikini goes right to my knackers.
Oh, let me get behind you, Nico.
when you do that with footballers, like he said about Leeds, and when you do things like that about a man like Stuart Pearce, I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that, but I'll tell you, you can tell him now if you're watching it, we're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
Kissinger gives me thrills.
He was a sex magic 9 times a day. The things I would do to that body. Thinking of how Nickel got away with murders gets me rock hard. True crime is my favorite hobby.
I'm in my armchair, jerking myself dry to all the most horrible things. I'm a sadist, wrote a fuck up, but cock rings and vinegar piss.
When you do that with footballers, like he said about Leeds, and when you do things like that about a man like Stuart Pearce, I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that, but I'll tell you, you can tell him now if you're watching it, we're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
Kissinger gives me thrills.
She was a sex magic 9 times a day. The things I would do to that body. Thinking of how Nickel got away with murders gets me rock hard. Crime is my favorite hobby. I'm in my armchair, jerking myself dry to all the most horrible things. I'm a sadist, know to fuck all the cock rings and vinegar piss.
Let me get behind you, Nickel. Kissinger, I'm addicted to your whore. Kissinger gives me thrills.
Hi, you with Scotty Hottie.
Kissinger, I'm addicted to your whore. Kissinger gives me thrills.
I'm Super Chuffer. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear and your left ear.
Kissinger gives me thrills.
Yeah, big ups. Blank Faces on at 8 p.m. I always do this Nutterwatch at 7 on a Friday. So, like, you know, I always do Nutterwatch at 7 on a Friday. Tonight we're doing a bit of Paul Arnott. He's got TikToks. Alan's got TikToks. I want to show you this lady and the things they've been saying to her on Twitter. And also, Elon Musk's got new robots and they're going to do everything for us, and we're going to have a look at that. I didn't know, like, I was going to contact Kelly and say, hey, should I start Nutterwatch an hour early? And, like, how long is your premiere? And, like, what if it's going to be a long one, maybe we should lead into, in the end, to just, you know, come on at 7 o'clock like I normally do, because I was walking the dog and doing stuff, and, you know, just is what it is, isn't it? Just is what it is. But, yeah, I appreciate that. Blank Faces on at 8. So, you in chat, look, is it, you've changed it to 8:30. Should I try and, like, just make this a nice clean hour and a half and then we'll just run into that? I'm happy to do that. If your upload is only 20 minutes long, like, if it's a short one, then there's not much point in me ending my show just to dump everyone in there for a short one. But if it's a longer one, then I'm quite happy to say, like, as we approach 8:30, I'll just dump everyone over there. There is a system on YouTube where I can forward the people from this stream to that stream, like a raid, but you have to activate it on your channel. There's a thing, like, you have to allow people to, I can't remember what it's called now. You have to allow people to link to your channel, whatever it's called. And it doesn't, if you unlock it now, it won't unlock in like 5 minutes. It's, for some reason, it takes a while for it to sort of register. But I'm quite happy to dump everyone over there. Dump all these chuffers out of chat. What do you reckon? What are you saying, Caddy? Should I aim for a nice tight hour and a half? Because we can do that. We can just, like, Alan's TikToks, this nonsense, dump them over to your chuffing thing. I should have contacted you. But, like, with stuff going on here, I just, like, was doing things. So I just jumped on when I jumped on. It's Peter Folding in every interview from when he first went on telly till they found Nicola Buddy. So that's quite a long one then. I'm thinking. So yeah, like, I'm quite happy to dump people over there if that's what everyone wants to do. If that's what everyone's saying. I'll have to get on with my show though. I have to get on with the show. And because, you know, it's quite a chill week this week of Nutterwatch. Like I said, I want to show you some interesting different things, and some of the the standard fare. So there's a couple of these TikToks and they are ludicrous. They are hilarious. So I do want to watch a couple of those. I want to keep up with what Paul Arnott's doing because he's at his peak apparently. I want to read you the messages for this lady that she's been receiving on the old tweeter, and I want to lead off with, which is why I should have got this started at the start. Really, I should have got this lined up at the start. Let's lead off with gifting some memberships. Membership gifting. Gift 5 now. Mine that I've got. Boom! It gives you them to gift out. There they go. You've got them now. They're yours. You keep that. That's yours. That's in the bank. That's safe. You save that for later. That's safe. And for the internet that we're doing now, I need to go into my bookmarks on Twitter. And have you seen Elon Musk's new robot? Seriously, have you seen this? It's madness.
Instead of a robot.
Okay, how do I get this up then? Is there anything else on my bookmarks that I think is problematic? Not really. But I just want the individual post. Can I go to the post? Why don't it show me just the post? There we go, there's the post. Right, this is a post from Elon Musk. And let's make it bigger for you so you can see it all nice and bigger. We'll do some messing about. Have you seen this today? This is the future, but it's now, but it's the future. So it's not now, but it will be in the future. When you get there, you'll be like, oh, I heard about that. Look at these chuffers. Do you think these are scariest, or is this acceptable?
A robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this.
Right, first of all, I want to say that he's saying he's progressed dramatically. Now listen, this is Elon Musk. Bear in mind, this is Elon Musk, and he's got a bit of a habit of doing this. Obviously, if you have all these robots coming down the runway looking all posh and it's all working, then your stock price might go up a bit. Because, oh look, for the future, we're doing this big project and it's looking good. Stock price go up a bit. Behind the scenes, this doesn't all have to work properly. We've seen it with some of his previous stuff. He's like, we're going to do this. And sometimes it happens. And then, sometimes it doesn't quite happen exactly as he wanted it to. But plans change along the way, but they might get there. But the point is that when he does a big announcement like this, do you remember the Cybertruck? And he's like, the windows are unbreakable and someone threw something, it smashed it. Everyone's not so happy with the Cybertruck right now, are they? Some people, there was that thing about people, they could cut off their fingers when the lid closed, all sorts. Some people think the Cybertruck's not quite as good as they made out. But, some people really like it. Well, here's probably a similar thing. I reckon that what's going to happen is these might look good on the catwalk here, but it might have taken a lot of hard work to get just these robots to walk around. And then having one in your house doing all the stuff they're going to advertise to you might be a bit of a way off. And it might be a bit like, do you remember the Roomba? It was our robot vacuum. Well, that's Roomba, robot vacuum. Well, that's good. I don't like doing the vacuuming. The Roomba, that looks really good. And it's like the future and it's now. And then you get one and it just goes around like a remote control car and it doesn't do anything and bumps into the cat. If you want to actually get the place clean, you've got to get the Hoover out. So it might be a Roomba. It might be a big Roomba and it might never come to quite fruition. Other people seem to think this is like the iPhone. Do you remember when the iPhone came out and people poo-pooed it? And now everyone's got one. Everyone's got one. Well, it might be like that. It might be like an iPhone moment where this is the future and some people poo-poo it. I'm a bit poo-pooing it because I don't really see me having one of these in my house. Me personally. That thing just pottering around in the kitchen while I'm on the stream, just fucking about. Mind you, having said it, maybe I will. Who knows? Everyone will want one. But also it'd be quite big and expensive and you have to charge it, I imagine, and who knows what's going on. But at the moment, my guess for these is that for the trade show, just to show everyone it going on, it's like a big remote control car, and I reckon they've got a controller for each one of these robots, if not more. And it's a simple thing to control, isn't it? Like a big remote control moving robot. So I reckon there's someone, watching it through a webcam. I doubt these are just completely autonomous at this stage, but they'll promise that they will be. So they'll show you the idea. It's a bit like a concept. So I don't believe it. With the iPhone, They could show you the idea, but it worked. Like, you know, you could call people on it. This is a bit like, it will work in the future, honestly, trust me. And that'll make the share price go up. But I don't know if we're getting robots, but check it out.
You're really going to have something spectacular. Something that anyone...
This is from Tesla Live. This is from today. This is like big announcement. You know how, like, honestly, this is like Elon Musk has developed the cars. You can buy the cars. The rockets, you can't... Maybe one day you'll get on a rocket to go to Australia or something like that. You know, maybe a rocket one day will take you to Australia, because whilst it's good to go to Mars maybe, but actually what they're trying to do is just develop the technology to the point of it being cost effective to the consumer to take you instead of planes, isn't it? Quicker than planes. Posh people will be going everywhere in rockets. It's just 20 minutes to New York. But will this be the future, do you think? Is this like one of those moments like the Tesla car where everyone can get one? Because the Tesla car didn't completely take over, did it? Like, it's good and everything. I've got a mate who's like quite into the automotives, and I was talking to him just the other day, and he said he's got a Tesla and it really saves on fuel, etc., etc. But he works in the Formula One field, in the like Formula One, for one of those famous Formula One teams. But he said there's no plans whatsoever for like all the top people to get into electric cars. None of them give a shit. They're all into their proper cars with the rum. So like, it didn't change the world completely, but you know, maybe like I want to know what you think. You know, do you think you're going to get one of these? Like, if this was available to you in Argos, are you picking one of these up?
could own. So you could have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO. But fundamentally, at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot.
Look, it's doing the watering the plants while they're all busy playing Jenga.
For, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do?
And now it's actually playing.
It'll be able to do anything.
Elon's like, what can it do? It'll be able to do pretty much anything. But at the moment, it can't do anything, I'm betting. But, you know, in the future, he'll be able to just do anything.
You want. So it can...
But this might be me, you know, you might cut this later and, you know, come back to this in 20 years' time when these robots are doing everything and I'll look stupid. I'd love to see it. Well, no, I wouldn't. It would look like a dystopian future, but...
Be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get
walk
the grocery.
my dog? You serious? You walking the dog? Do you think you're going to send the robot out to walk the dog? Would you trust the robot to take your dog out for a walk? Babysit the kids. Babysit the kids. Yeah? Well, as long as Alan didn't program it, it might be safe. It'd be safer than Alan, I suppose, wouldn't it? Be safer than Alan. Big ups, Curious Cat. Oh, I haven't got my t-shirt on.
Please, just be your friend. Serve
It's in the wash.
drinks. Whatever you can think of, it will do.
Whatever you can think of, it will do. So
And-
let's be real. Hand jobs. Hand jobs, said yeah. Loads of hand jobs for loads of creepy perverts. You've got like stickers of Kylie Minogue's face on the front of it. No, you'll be walking the dog and like tidying up and driving your car around for you and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
No, it's picking up the shopping, look. There's no way, in my mind, this isn't some sort of, CGI robot suit creation. There's no way, in my mind, that this has actually been recorded with a real autonomous robot doing that. Like, just wandering about, picking stuff up, like, you know, your very own RoboCop. Could you put the kettle on? Does it do the tea like you like it?
I think this will be the biggest product.
That's a fella in a robot suit. That is, look. That's a fella in a robot suit. Look. Watch.
Get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks.
Did you say be your friend?
Whatever.
Wait, you said be your friend? Serve drinks? One of them's like a slave and one of them's like a friend. Be your friend? What do you mean be your friend? A friend that lives permanently at your house and you treat as a slave. Okay.
2D2 C-3PO.
I mean, Elon's from South Africa. Anyway, look.
But fundamentally, at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy
The Octopus robot.
an Optimus robot.
Optimus. He's copied it off Optimus Prime. It's there in the corner, like looking at them all. They've got their back to it. Don't ever turn your back to the Optimus.
Or I think probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term.
It's thinking all the time.
So, and what can it do? It can...
Can we please listen to more than one sentence before you cut in? Yeah, this is what I do. I pause and talk. It's my role. This is what I do. I do this thing. Do you want me to play the entire 2 minutes? Then I'll shut up in entirety, and then I'll come back and rip it. Come on. It's my show. This is my bit.
It'll be able to do anything you
All
want
right.
suit. Sort of that, and then
But Elon does stutter about what it's going to do. He's like, it will.
we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own. So you could have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO.
This is a sales pitch.
But fundamentally, at scale,
She's walking
the
around.
Optimus robot, you should be able to
got your
buy an
post.
Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So
20 grand?
And what can it do? It'll be able to do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind. Yeah. Because I think everyone, of the 8 billion people of Earth, I think everyone's going to want their Optimus buddy.
Yep, but it's 20 grand, so I don't think anyone's going to have one.
And there's going to be maybe two.
Maybe two.
And then they'll be producing products and services.
Now, there's a thought, isn't it? Producing. I can't stop pausing it. I'm sorry. I can't. Imagine. Do you mean the robots will be creating products and services? Like you get a robot and it can work at your ice cream shop, and then you don't have to work at your ice cream shop anymore, and it just does it for you, automating everything. Robots doing everything. Is this a positive? And then on top of that, does he mean that, or does he mean there'll be products and services for the robots? So you'll get people that are like, robot dressers and robot polishers and, robot repair people and all that as well. I don't know, like a bit of both.
Predict actually, provided we address risks of digital superintelligence, 80% probability of good, a good outcome. Look on the bright side. The cup is 80% full. The cost of products and services will decline dramatically, and basically anyone will be able to have any products and services they want.
He's got a good point there, though. If you've got one of those robots for 20 grand, then you don't have to hire someone to cut your lawn because the robot can do it. And you don't have to hire someone to do whatever the fuck else because the robot can do it. So whilst you might lose your job doing something, you can also get all the jobs done yourself if you can afford the robot. So it is interesting. Also, yeah, do you think they'll have attachments? Do you think there'll be attachments? Like, you'll be able to screw on the things at the front, like, get the robot going,
One of the things we wanted to show tonight was that Optimus is not a canned video. It's not walled off. The Optimus robots will walk among you. Please be nice to the Optimus robots.
They're going to walk among them. Walking among the robots.
So you'll be able to walk right up to them, and they'll serve drinks at the bar. A robot with
Okay, so I'm going to show you this because I've got it all, but just give me a second because it's in my bookmarks. So the bookmarks thing, doody-doo. So he said they're going to serve drinks at the bar, yeah? Serve drinks at the bar. How do I get the post to go as a big post? There we go. They're going to serve drinks at the bar. This is a robot serving drinks at the fucking bar, apparently. And it kind of is. No, kind of is. It's got a hat on.
You want to get a photo?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Little video. Hey. Sweet. Thanks, man. Bro, appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
All right.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
I think that's the robot talking. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? And what I can't decide, he's recently done Neuralink and all that. I can't decide if that's a person in there who's just got stumps for arms and they put robot arms on them and he's actually just serving drinks, or if this is it feels like there's someone talking from behind the mask. It doesn't feel like there's a robot voice. And I think that there's a lot of this that makes me really worried that this is some sort of real weird fakery going on. But what I really think about it is it's probably just a human controller, watching through a webcam in the headset, controlling the robot, or you know, in some way, like, because robot arms to be controlled by someone in a Wi-Fi, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's easy, isn't it? Like, you can make the robot as a concept and you can say this is how it's going to work and they're going to be autonomous and self-driving. But for now, just for the demonstration, we'll just put, like, you know, someone controlling it behind the curtain. Do you know what I mean? But like, if it's standing in the same place and repeatedly performing the same action, pulling a drink, I think a robot could handle that. So yeah.
For sure, let's do it. Little video. Hey. Sweet.
I can't say if that's for sure if that's the robot talking, but
Alright. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Tremendous. Doing good.
Peace, everybody.
How are you
says
doing?
peace everybody. That's the robot talking, yeah.
Pretty good.
Nice.
I love the change.
But it makes me feel like there's someone just controlling it from another room, you know, like with motion capture control or something. Like, it just really feels a bit like it's spookily. It's not uncanny valley where you feel creeped out by it necessarily, but the human movements of it, you know, the way it's not moving so robotically, the way it seems to be moving as if a human's doing that into a camera and it's the robot's copying it in some way. And like the clumsy aspect of this pulling of the drink, like there is actually a clumsiness to it, like almost as if someone's looking through a camera, and like, you know, when they do keyhole surgery and stuff, and like, you know, it's almost as if someone's doing that, isn't it? Because it's not filled the drink up full there, look. It's like as an example of how it could sort of do it. But it's not really doing a good job, is it? So, not really. This is them coming down the catwalk again, look. I mean, this doesn't... For sometimes, like, if you see a catwalk, you know, stage event, when they announce the iPhone, you're like, oh, wow, look at the iPhone, that looks cool. Something about this looks creepy and scary. Just like, it looks threatening, doesn't it? Like, ooh, like you've turned up at Elon Musk's big announcement, this happens, and you think, oh, is the doors locked? Can we get out? Are we okay? Is this all going to go wrong all of a sudden? Has he lost his marbles? Like, I don't want to end up like a robot. And I've got one more of these, which is this one. It's like in the outdoors. So this is where he said, you know, they'll walk among you. So this is a robot walking among you. Yeah, look. Tesla robot. 2 Chainz had a whole conversation with the robot.
What's up?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
It's nice to meet you.
So like, the robot's talking back to him in this one, yeah? And it just sounds like someone talking through a microphone. So, like, I'm not sure it's the robot talking, but yeah, again, like, is that man behind him just doing the voice or something? Like, you tell me what you think. Big ups, Joe Boy. How you doing, Joe? Big ups, Joe Boy. I got buttons. I got some new buttons.
Bang! I'm a cat. Ooh! Fact. Bang! Fact. I'm a cat.
Big ups, Joe. How you doing?
I done a murder.
2 Chainz, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
It's nice to meet you.
Shouts out Supreme Beds.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Optimus.
Okay. My name is Tony.
Tony?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Tony.
Nice to meet you, Tony. I mean, a robot could do that, couldn't it? I mean, I don't know.
Meet you too, buddy. Hey, can you
Awesome.
can you play basketball? Can you shoot like jump shots?
Maybe one day.
I'll teach
Can
you.
you?
Maybe one day. Like, it just sounds like a human.
I'll teach you.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
man.
you, Tony.
Thank you, brother.
Much appreciated.
And like, it's kind of boring having a conversation with the robot then, because like it's just like answering your questions.
All right, man. You like Balenciaga? I got an outfit for you.
Really?
Yeah, I got an outfit for you.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you think people will dress up their robots? They probably will, won't they?
All right. Well, I'm about to order you. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna order you, and then I'll see you in another couple months. Okay.
In a couple of months? They're releasing them in a couple of months? No way. Orders now for a couple of months, and that thing's going to be doing stuff in your home. Just like tell it what to do, and it's just going to get up to it. I mean, when you think about it, right? You take the car technology they've got, the ability to recognise space and move around and do X, Y, Z, and you couple it with a pair of robotic arms that can perform basic tasks as long as they're programmed. Like then you add to it like the way apps work on the phones. Like so you just download an app for washing the dishes, and you download an app for like walking the dog. Apparently, like I don't know. You know, I'm still a bit sus about this. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, in a couple of months if they're releasing that onto the market and just they're wandering around. I don't know if I'm going to trust it at all. Meow, you started. Of course. Meow. So, that's... Yeah. Come here. So that's Elon Musk's nightmare future. Basically, isn't it? That's Elon Musk's nightmare future. We're all living in it, apparently. Another thing I've got for you on Twitter is this lady. Stick around to find out what's happening with this lady and all the people that have answered her post. They seem like gentlemen. Some of them have answered her post. She's put up a post, and a lot of gentlemen have replied to it. The post says, "I'll probably regret this, but if we had 24 hours together and nothing is off limits, what would we do?" And then a lot of gentlemen have replied to it, and I'm going to read out what they said. Yeah, classic Nutterwatch. So because it's classic Nutterwatch, let's do some of this, right? Alan's TikToks. Some of these are actually hilarious, I swear. Now it's going to look different to me because I was looking at it on a wider screen earlier. But where do I want to start with this? Where do I want to start? I should have made a note in my brain. Well, I did yesterday, but it just all looks the fucking same. It's just like a big mess of everything. Looks awful. Let me see what this one is. Hang on, let me get his face up, like, big, and let's see what we've got. Some of these are hilarious. I'm not going to get political on your ass. I'm not going to be arsed with it. I'm not going to argue with him or anything like that. I'm just going to see how funny it is. Like, look at him. I'll tell you what gets funny. In the later ones, which we'll see in a minute, he gets a weird filter and it starts plumping up his lips. Anyway.
Shocking news. A 13-year-old girl...
Yeah?
...cries on her mother's shoulder as she becomes the youngest female rioter to be sentenced after trying to kick down... Well, she said he kicked the door of a migrant hotel.
Try to kick down the door of a migrant hotel. Bloody hell. Girl 13, youngest rioter, sentenced for scaring migrants. Well, it says sentence. Anyway, you get the point.
And listen to this. The migrants were left absolutely terrified as violence broke out on the hotel, really. So this all went off in connection with the Southport murders, of course. We can't name her because she's too young, but she's been sentenced to community service. Wow, so 13.
Wow. She's reading the newspaper, isn't he?
And she admitted to the judge that the asylum seekers would have been quite scared. Which is July 31st. So, 13-year-old crying on her mother. No excuse, I suppose. You can't go around kicking down hotel doors and frightening illegal migrants, can you? You can't do that, really.
No.
I wonder if anybody asked her if she was quite scared when all these illegal immigrants were around Aldershot. Like, does it frighten? Are they frightened? Or young?
She didn't sound like she'd been that scared. She went to kick the fucking door down at the hotel.
Girls frightened, I wonder. Are they quite scared? With hundreds of...
Oh, I pressed escape by mistake. Well, I suppose that's serendipity. I want to find the one that, because I was watching one yesterday and I was like literally laughing at it, and so I want to know which one it was. But for some reason, none of these look funny now. Why are They don't look funny. That's Jesus Christ make a comeback. So I'm going back too far, isn't it? I'm going back too far. Jesus Christ needs to make a comeback. Okay. Chelsea Punch. Now that's what the problem is. I'm going back too far. I'm going back too far. And that's the minimum amount of work visas. We did that one as well, didn't he? Okay. And that's his Nicola Bullis videos. Okay. He pumps them out so often. There's even more since I last looked, and I last looked earlier yesterday or today or some shit. Okay. Check this out.
Hello. Accident emergency. I've got a shocker for you, right?
Emergency. Calling Dr. Beat. Emergency.
I'm not going to believe this. I have a friend who is a nurse in one of these. I won't say which one. And I read in the paper that if you can't speak English, right?
The same friend, presumably, who got Boris Johnson's medical records.
They give you an interpreter. So I only speak Sudanese. All right, we'll get you an interpreter. Wait there. Okay. Now the thing is, the average wait in A&E is 4 hours. Sometimes you can sleep in the corridor, can't you? 4 hours, right? So she says, I was at work the other day and I saw this person kicking off, saying I've been here 5 hours, and this person here has gone straight in to see a doctor. And she said, the reception said, that's because they can't speak English. If they can't speak English, they have to go to the front of the queue, right? And you might think that's racist, right? Well, just because they can't speak English, that's racist to let them go in front of me, right? Isn't it? Why are they going before me because they can't speak English? Now here's the answer. Because they got to have an interpreter, the interpreter's not allowed to wait more than an hour at the max. So the interpreter, Sudanese interpreter, turns up, sits there speaking yabba yabba.
Sorry, what? Sits there speaking yabba yabba. Right, well, here's the first point of contention. Do you think that when you get an interpreter at a hospital, they ring them up and they get in a car and come to the hospital? But don't you realise when they ring them up, they're already on the phone then, and they can do it from the phone? They just get them, and they've seen it on the police videos and stuff, haven't you? They get them on they get like an interpreter on the phone, and it's like a conference call, and they just speak into the unit, and then the interpreter returns. It's an online, on the phone thing, Alan. It's like a, a call centre job. So, I don't know, this doesn't sound right to me. This sounds like you're fucking confused.
Yeah, you're going to be seen.
Speaking yabba yabba.
Got to go first because they can't afford to pay this Sudanese interpreter.
Right, and also, the way it works is that when you get into the hospital, you do what's called triage. So you talk to somebody about what's wrong, and then they line up whether you're really important, need to go straight in, or whether it's, can wait a bit. So what they'll probably do is they'll do the triage with the interpreter, and then they still might sit and wait a bit. Like if they've just got like a, if they go and say, I've got an upset stomach, but, they need an interpreter, it doesn't mean they go to see the doctor first, because the doctor's got to deal with all the crap that's, interpreters just jump the queue and get to the top of the list, doesn't matter what's wrong with the people. That's not how it works at all. Who's your friend that works in the hospital? Because they don't know what's going on.
Hours to sit there waiting to get to see the doctor. So they're saving you money, right? They're saving you money because they're like 50 quid an hour. So they're saving you money, but also just go in and say you don't speak English, you'll get seen within an hour. Well, they say, well, what language do you speak? I say, well, I only speak one language. You're in trouble then.
You'd have to say it in the language you say that you speak. So let's say, for example, Sudanese, as Alan was so cross about. If you turn up at the hospital and you really want to get seen quick, tell them in Sudanese that you only speak Sudanese, and you'll go straight through. Obviously, you'll have to conduct the rest of your examination speaking Sudanese to try and pull that off, but
Make sure you speak 2 different languages. I mustn't inspire you to do this. But anyway, so basically...
I mustn't inspire you to do this in case the A&E departments are flooded with people who are actually English but only claim to be able to speak Sudanese. After all 300 people watch this TikTok.
Is, and it's the law, and it's the law around all hospitals. You go
Yeah.
anywhere you like. You have to go first if you don't speak English.
I don't think it's the law that you have to go first if you don't speak English. I don't think that's the law.
And the rule is, you can't be waiting more than an hour. So if you've got the interpreter and the Sudanese there, it could be anyone, Pakistan or whatever you want, they have to be seen within an hour.
Doesn't he understand it? What they will do is they'll get you in, they'll sit you down, you'll say, I need the interpreter or whatever, and they'll say, okay, they'll go on the phone, and the phone, interpreter, hello, we work at the NHS call centre. Like, I've got one here that needs Sudanese, okay, and they'll get you on, they'll just do it. It's just like they just take it in their stride. I think Alan's really confused about what's going on at the hospital.
Meanwhile, us indigenous English-speaking population don't have to be seen at all. I'm not joking. They don't have to see us at all. Unless it's an absolute emergency, right? I guess if you're in a heart attack, you might get a chance of seeing a doctor. I mustn't exaggerate. This is not misinformation. This is true. All no joking aside, if you can't speak English, you have to be seen within an hour. Even those people in front of you have been waiting 5 hours. I'm not making it up. This is a fact.
You're not making it up. It is a fact. With all spit round your mouth. Yeah. You know, it's true when someone says, I'm not making it up, it's a fact. Big ups to Over Monitor Mom. Thank you for that message. We'll run the show as we're going to run it and run into Kelly's Peter Folding video, I think, and just do a nice, neat Nutterwatch tonight. And then I might jump on Twitch later to review Alan's recent Patreon and then upload it here as an upload, I think, because who knows what the fuck he's going to talk about. There's no guarantee. It might be horrible and boring and dry. It might be bombshell stuff, but, you know, can't count on that nutter, can you? This one particularly made me chuckle.
Okay, this map here is a Schengen zone area. These are
So, a Schengen borders? I've not heard this term before, really. Schengen borders, yeah? What's that, Alan?
countries where you can pass through.
Countries where you can pass through, yeah? Okay, I'm going to pause it a lot. This is how I do it. This is how I roll. Looks like the Eurozone, doesn't it? It looks like the EU. European countries. I don't know why I haven't added Ireland. But it looks like the European Union, yeah?
Where there are no borders.
No borders. That sounds like the European Union. Got you, yeah. There are still borders, and they're still patrolled, of course. It's just that if you go through with a European ticket, you don't even have to have a European passport or anything. You just have to have an ID. That you like. If I have a British passport, that's one thing. If I was in Europe, had a Spanish passport, that's one thing. But I don't need it to go across the borders because I'm in Europe, so I just have ID. Like, I have a driver's license or anything, and I can just travel freely. I think the driver's license counts as your European, and you just, you don't get stopped, or, if you're from other countries, like, if you're from like outside of there, you might still get stopped within there. But now what they're saying is the outer shell ring border is going to be the one that is mainly used for that, but they're still going to have border control over their own borders. Like, they still have those systems, checks and balances for certain things. Like, but if it's within the EU stuff, you can just go right ahead. Yeah, that's one of the good things about it. Yeah.
EU decided to take down borders. Revolutionary idea, right? No border checks.
We were in it.
The only people not in it is us.
Yeah.
Is that an advantage or disadvantage?
Well, it's a bit late for this. We did Brexit. That's gone. That's done. That's in the bank. That's completely unsafe, and you're going to lose your human rights. But other than that, that's the past. We try not to bleat on about it too much these days, don't we?
Is it? Well, I can tell you.
You can tell us if you read the internet. Like, do you know what's funny about Alan is he's just a mouthpiece for the mainstream. Like, he's literally just has his ideas pumped straight into his head from the internet. Like, he's not a thinking man. He's a puppet of propaganda.
The EU is a framework to manage who comes in and who comes out.
The EU's got a framework, okay?
Entry, exit. There's no border controls at the moment.
Well,
there should be, right?
Externally there are, but internally no, yeah? Carry on. Loosely, vaguely. Like, you drive across the border and there are still border posts and things, but they allow you just to freely pass, yeah? Like,
This year, travellers entering Schengen's area will have their fingerprints and photo taken.
So if you enter into the EU, they want your fingerprints and photos if you don't already have an EU pass and this and that, yeah?
And they will also have their fingerprints and photo taken when leaving.
Right, so for me, that's bad because I don't want you to have my fingerprints and photo. But you'll get my photo anyway if I just go there because you'll be able to photograph it off all the CCTV, so I can't really stop that, governments. But, like, why do you need my fingerprints? Seems a bit extra, doesn't it? But maybe it's a security thing.
Passports will not be stamped. So the illegal immigrants that don't have passports, is their way of getting around it, are stuffed.
Oh, wait, so the EU is going to be better at controlling illegal immigration than Great Britain? Well, don't you want to be part of that then?
Because all the governments in Europe, apart from us, will have photos and fingerprints of everyone entering and leaving.
Yeah, when we did, fucking this annoys me because I'm pretty sure Alan. I don't know what his thoughts were. Maybe he was staunchly Remain with his Malta trips, but the idea that we would cooperate in order to solve problems, and therefore, like, we were talking about the European policing system and how, like, we share information and stuff. Like, yeah, sounds like a good idea. Yeah, go on.
And why this is so important from this year, November, this month, next month, why it's so important is if somebody comes in this country with the fingerprints that match that of a murderer from another country, they will know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if he hasn't got a passport.
It's a him then. It's definitely a man.
The photo and the fingerprints will say this man murdered somebody in Bulgaria in 1996.
Is Bulgaria inside the... Hang on, Alexa, is Bulgaria in the EU?
From move2bulgaria.com. Bulgaria is a member of the European Union since 2007.
So, we're looking for countries that are outside of this. But yeah, you get the picture. I mean, for example, England. If they come from England.
This is massive, but they're not telling you this. I'm telling you this.
You're telling
they're
me.
Not telling you this.
Well, in that case, I don't even know if I believe it, but yeah.
Our government's not telling you this. The other governments are telling each other. Because it's true.
Like, there's a negative to this, isn't it? Which is like the 1984, like, Big Brother's watching you, you know, giving me fingerprints thing. Some people aren't going to like that. But I don't think you'd have to do that if you live in the EU, would you? You just live in the EU. It's for the people that are coming in from the outside that don't have and you know, like, coming in on the border, like, they want their photographs and they want their fingerprints, and then you can go into the system. Like, you can't just come in illegally and just wander around. Like, photographs and like, I get that. It's a little bit like draconian in a way. I think I'm a bit, you know. Well, it's not really. Again, I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to talk about why this man's a wanker.
Immigrant borders are going to be reintroduced.
Don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't let the bastards grind you down. A very wise man said that this week. Don't let the bastards grind you down.
Do you know how big that means? They will be able to reintroduce border control at the internal borders in the event of a threat to public safety.
What? You mean they're going to be able to control their own borders even though they're within the EU?
Are they gearing up for a massive event that's coming next year? From November, their borders will be defendable. Ours won't.
Right? Are they gearing up for something? Do you think? You dummy. Is there anything that's happened over the last year and a half, like, you know, and a bit, over right where your hand is, coming from where your hand is, that's been a bit of an issue? There's a war in the Ukraine. Russia invaded the Ukraine. So they're gearing up for worry, like, you know, national security reasons and, you know, and all that and all this, like, and you're talking, well, they're gearing up for something. Is there some, you know, crazy event, conspiracy? There's a war in the Ukraine. This is part of, people have been talking about this immigration issue for ages, and so we need to actually, as a society, you know, deal with it, as well as, it's not hard right, horrible right to be like, let's have some sort of social controls to, you know, protect people, you know, and all that. Is it like you've been arguing? So the thing you wanted to happen is happening amongst, like, reasonable people with more, like, you know, less you know, a bit more of a balanced and calm approach to it than a sort of mad reactionary. Like, someone's got some ideas anyway. Alan doesn't like it, right? Again, he just seems really fucking confused about which side he's on or what he wants to happen, or like, and he doesn't understand why and what might have inspired it. Like, the border crossing of the immigration caused by the decimation of the countries, the Islamic, you know, the terrorism, the African, like, we've got the fingerprinting, we've got that, we've got the war in Ukraine, we've got the border control in case things, like, you know, in case severely bad things happen, including like wars on our borders and, you know, other wars in the area, having lots of more floods of people. Like, you've got lots of systems coming into place to deal with, like, you know, the population shifts of modern world, and that's what you've been looking for and asking for. We're the only ones not in it. And you're concerned there might be a conspiracy and this is like a portent for what's to come. Alan's worried this is like, oh, they might see something. Again, you know what this reminds me is? It reminds me of back in 2020s, or don't talk about politics like that. But yeah, like, people were like, oh my God, they saw it coming. They planned it. No, they didn't plan it. They should have planned it better. They should have had a contingency plan that was better. Like, they should have done, because it's constant and it's normal for viruses to travel around the world like that. Like, we had SARS, we had MERS, we had swine flu, we had bird flu. Like, you know, lots of warnings. Like, it's... They're planning something. They're not planning something. They're dealing with something. Something you've been talking about for fucking ages. It's just like... They want to predict and see things coming, yes. Like, they're worried about the war in Ukraine and, like, they're predicting what could happen, like the worst case scenarios, and setting up contingency plans, yes. We're not, so...
At the internal borders in the event of a threat to public safety. Are they gearing up for a massive event that's coming next year? From November, their borders will be defendable. Ours won't. Why are they doing this?
Because there's a war in the Ukraine.
We've already got a mass immigration society all over these countries. Is something brewing? Is something going to happen? And they're preparing to close their borders.
Yes. War in the Ukraine. Imagine if Hitler invaded Poland. Not Hitler, sorry, the wrong name, Putin. Then you'd have, like, this big problem, and you need border control, not just because of the direct problem of the war, but you'd have the other, like, once the borders are compromised and this European circle of, like, trust, like, you know, we've got this big circle border around. So to get in, you need your fingerprints and this and that, right? Big up Swamp Donkeys. Big up Swamp Donkeys.
Sending universal credit again. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Big ups the Swamp Donkeys. Do you want to see Andre? There he is. Big ups the Swamp Donkeys. Big ups your fucking chuffer. You bad chuffer. Big ups. Big ups. Big ups. Don't let the bastards grind you down. So there's a circle on the outside. I got that. So if there's a war or something and that circle gets breached, now we don't have a closed circle anymore and anyone can just come in and do whatever. We'll close the borders and we'll do the security. Good idea. Okay. Are they preparing for something? Are they not telling us something? He's a dozy one, isn't he? He's a fucking right dozy one.
Why have they brought this in from November? European Union, temporary reintroduction of border control. They'll be capable of shutting their borders. If there's
and also, it's in response to all the right-wing people, like Alan, they're happening in Europe as well, saying there's too many immigrants, there's a problem. And so if you don't address something like that, even though it's populism and nationalism and a load of, like, you know, trite bollocks to gain favour and power, like, off the votes of idiots, selfish nationalists, and the racists. The thing is, right, you've got to listen to it if there's, like, that, you know, political push and say, okay, like, you know, what is it they're actually saying is a problem? Can we address it? Do we need to address it? Can we do it in a sensibly grown-up way? So, like, why are you not in favour of this?
threat to internal security. Wow. What do you think? So what is the Schengen area about? Well, it's every country in Europe apart from us and Ireland.
Oh, is
Does
Ireland
this
not doing
mean
it?
that
Is Ireland not doing it then?
ourselves in Ireland will be the official #1 destination for all mass immigration from now on?
Well, they'd have to get through this first, but maybe, yeah, that's one of the problems we've got now that we're outside of EU, yeah. Like, I said this before, like, you know, if you float your little boat across there and we're part of the whole group, we can just float it back and say, fuck off back. It's all Europe. We're not sending you back anywhere. We're sending you within the same state, like, we're within Europe. So send you back, carry on. But if you are separate and you've come out of Europe and you're into the British waters now, we can't send you back because we're essentially sending immigrants to France. Like, we can't do that. We're not allowed. So, yeah.
Because if all these countries got borders, we haven't, where do you think everyone's going to want to go?
We do have borders, you idiot. We will have borders.
At the moment, you don't undergo border checks. When they signed up for the Schengen state, they removed all obstacles for the fluid flow of traffic and speed limits.
Yeah, this one's fucking annoying as well, isn't it? Because you know how everything costs more now? Over there it costs less because they can all just die. Instead of having to put a different packaging for France and a different product line for Germany and a different formula for the, you know, because all different rules and all different regulations and signing a load of forms. And do you remember when they couldn't get the buses over, you know, or the lorries over Dover? Like, they couldn't get them across because of Brexit. Like, all these fucking forms and paperwork and all this nonsense. Like, you know, that adds cost to all of our products and services. And we're living in the wake of it. It costs more monies. Yeah, go on.
Police checks can be carried out, but only if police have information that there's a threat to security. The only security checks now are at ports and airports, but only to verify someone's name. But you've got to understand, from November, they will automatically take your picture and fingerprints. No longer will they be allowing illegal immigrants into those countries that have a police record or have been in prison or are identified as a security threat. Meanwhile, in the UK, the boats can come, throw away their passports and everything. There's no fingerprinting or photographs or checking into their past history. My God, we're going to be the most violent country in the world because we're the only place they can go. Thanks to this November, Europe becoming one against allowing immigrants in.
So, what's your point?
Without a name or record of who they are and what they've done.
You know the people that support you on all this nonsense thought Brexit was a good idea and they like pushed for that, don't you? Like, are you keeping up? Alan's now a European, you know, he's like a Eurozone, like Alan's a Remainer essentially now, 2 years too late. So that's good. Look at this.
1984. George was right. We're there. We're living it. Did you know that you're now living how they lived in the book? You've got...
I doubt Alan's ever read a book. So I don't know how he knows what's going on in 1984.
reality and the forced reality. What do you mean? Reality is...
Reality and the forced reality. That's not... Those concepts aren't really brought up in 1984, but go on.
You can't say anything. You'll be arrested. You have to toe the line. You have to do what you're told. And then there's your own reality, your own thoughts that are nowhere near what you're allowed to say and do.
Right, and they get thought policed, don't they? So you have to think what the party think. If you're in the party, if you're in that bourgeoisie ruling class, if you're in INSOC, then you have to think as well, don't you, what the party thinks? It's thought police as well as... Isn't it? But if you're a prole, you get let off, I guess.
Spain, this is what goes on in North Korea and communist countries. You're two people. You're the person of the state, you're owned by the state, you do what the state tells you, which is what you are now.
You.
And then there's the real you, that's frightened.
You're frightened. Do you know what I mean? And also, like, this is a man who reads the Daily Mail out loud on his TikTok every day. So, like, I think you might be a puppet of the state. I think you might be drinking the Kool-Aid there. I think you might be, like, you know, preaching the propaganda of the right-wing press. Like, you would be completely a member of the party, preaching the ethics of the party. Like, that's what you would be. Like, you literally conduct a 2 minutes hate on your own TikTok on a regular basis against the immigrants who are the perceived enemy. They are Goldberg. Or your pursuit of all these immigrants, that's Goldberg. And like when we're at war with Eurasia, but then we have to change it and say that we're at war with Oceania, but it doesn't matter because it's the same war and we've always been at war. And like, oh my God, Alan, like. Do you think Alan represents Winston? I've read 1984 multiple times because it's one of my favourite books, yeah? And I kind of love Winston in a way. But in another way, I kind of hate him, like, because, like, you want so much for him to succeed, and sort of, like, you expect a hero's journey, and, like, in so many ways, he just gives up. But he's not, he's crushed, isn't he? He's completely crushed, so, like, that's how it goes. But, like, you know, in some ways, like, you know, as a main character, like, with Dostoevsky and Rodion Raskolnikov-Romanovich from Crime and Punishment, like, he's a strong character even if he's a nutter. And you kind of feel for him and, like, you know, hope he succeeds. Well, I don't know, like, he's a murderer, isn't he? So, like, I don't want to give any spoilers for, like, a book that was written hundreds of years ago, but, like, you know, like, that doesn't end well either. But in 1984, you know, Winston is, like, Alan is quite a Winston in a way. You know, he's left completely crushed under the wheel of the party. Even worse than any, like, he has his dreams and his romance and his love brought out into the open and ridiculed and turned upon him as a weapon, and the people that he thought he could trust are the ones that do it to him, and in the end his brain is broken by facing his most visceral and primal fears as some sort of punishment or induction to the truth of the core of the party, which is that you don't think, you just are the party. And he ends up drinking his victory gin and playing his little chess game and watching his telly screen, a broken man. Like, in a lot of ways, Alan is like Winston, but I mean, the dog's called Winston, isn't it? His dog's called Winston. It's not his dog, but in many ways, like, if I read the book and pictured Alan as Winston, it would spoil the book for me even worse. As many ways, like, as much as I feel like, you know, Winston did try. He did try. You know, I say I hate him. I don't really hate him strong, you know, but I hoped for so much more. He did try, didn't he? Bless him. But Alan's not a nice guy like Winston. He's a shit. So he's not like Winston. But in another way, right, Winston is described as I picture him as being very grey, if you know what I mean. Like, he's sallow, skin tone and grey hair, and with a vein in his leg that he, like, you know, like, Alan is, like, unhealthy and sagging, and, you know, the ham hand thing that we talk about, like, it's because he's just, like, unhealthy and a bit grotesque. And I see Winston in that way a little bit as well, you know, like, not unattractive, I guess, but just, like, burdened by this lack of social care, so he just looks unhealthy in lots of ways. Anyway, enough review of George Orwell's 1984 and whether Alan could play the main role. It's just something that's going through my brain.
Frightened to have an opinion on anything. Can I say that? Will I be arrested and banged up in jail if I say that? And that's going on. There's people in jail now for doing tweets and doing retweets and having a Facebook post.
Okay, fair play. That's like a bit like 1984, except in 1984 what they would do is they would grab you from inside your family home and they would take you away, and your family would be screaming and crying, and then you'd never be seen again. And if you did get seen again, you'd be like a broken zombie of your own former self. So it's a bit different, but yeah. And that would be for tweets, but you wouldn't do tweets because you wouldn't fucking dare in 1984. It would be for thinking the wrong thing or looking at someone the wrong way. And we could be headed that way, but I don't know.
people in jail for that in UK.
And you do realise, Alan, that the right wing are the fascists and the left wing are the sort of anti-fascists? Should be, anyway.
A lot of them. So, 1984, Big Brother's watching you.
Got a load of people in chat who have the friends called Winston and...
Here. How they've done it is that you're careful not to be branded a racist or far
Right, 1984 is here because the right-wing racist people are under the cosh and can't really come out of their shell. Are you stupid, Alan? In 1984, it's the right-wing fascist racist people that run the fucking show. Like, it's this media agenda. Like, you're on TikTok reading the Daily Mail, yeah? So you're completely under the thumb of the right-wing. Like, you're completely under the thumb of it. Like, it's like... You would be sat at the 5 minutes hate. You'd be leading the 5 minutes hate. Your TikTok is essentially like they used to have to sit in a room and there's a video screen, a big one, or like they'd pull down a, I say used to, like it exists in real life in the history somewhere in my brain, but they'd pull down this screen and it'd be Goldberg on the screen. They'd all sit there watching it. Fucking Goldberg. And like, that's what you do with your TikToks about immigrants.
right. UK has got you.
I suppose on the other way though, Alan is a sort of Zionist, isn't he? Like, he's anti-Islam, and like, you know, if you went into all these conspiracy theories like he does, wouldn't you think that in some way he's some sort of like Zionist, like who is preaching the propaganda of the Zionists?
In fear.
Fuck.
But your real you worries, is it safe for women and girls?
What?
The truth is it's less safe. But you can't say that. Why is it less safe? Because you have criminals from all over the world coming here as illegal migrants with no passports and no papers.
Right, I'm glad we cleared up all those recent strange disappearances of women. It's the migrants. It's the illegals. Sarah Everard case, that was a police, but he could have come from somewhere. Is there any statistical anything to back that up, Alan?
And a small percentage of those are criminals. Some of them really bad criminals. I point out that there's more people emigrating from Sweden than immigrating now. Sweden has got the second most gun violence in Europe. Sweden.
So wait. Sweden's got the second highest gun violence in Europe. I don't know what that like equates to. I don't know if it means there's loads of people running around in gangs shooting guns, or if there's like more guns go off in the woods when they're shooting moose or something. I don't know how the statistic is. You know, I don't know what's going on in Sweden with gun violence. Yeah, but apparently it's got the second highest gun violence in Europe, which I think would be pretty low in general, because I think Europe's pretty low for gun violence in general. But also, more people are emigrating than more people are leaving Sweden than are moving to Sweden. Yeah, and I think that's about mobile populations, young people. Like, you live in a northernmost European country. Like, you're not going to travel north necessarily for your, get your life aspirations. You know, to see the big city. It's colder and there's moose, so you're going to head south and into Europe, aren't you? And like, people tend to do stuff like that. I don't know what the balance is either, like how big that is, but what Alan's basically saying is that, and this is how stupid people work, like there's no, like, nobody really thinks there's a correlation between immigration, emigration, like, you know, population level on that front, and gun violence. Like, no one's thinking that people are leaving Sweden because of the gun violence, or like, you know, that's not, or that there's more gun violence because people are leaving. Like, it's not necessarily correlated, is it? But Alan sounds like a full-on madman here. Like, he's read something about, like, the way he keeps looking off onto the computer screen and just reading the thing. Like, he's definitely getting all his ideas straight from the internet then, yeah? Like, Big Brother's not watching you, Alan. You're watching Big Brother online and then regurgitating it back into the world.
Gun violence in Europe. Sweden. It's run by gangs of second-generation immigrant. Let that sink in.
What? It's run by gangs. Sweden is run by gangs of second-generation immigrants. So we're talking about people, like 2 generations. So that's like at least 20, 30 years of... What? I thought they had a royal family, or at least a government.
Because the streets aren't safe. So, we've got this parallel world, haven't we? Where you get cancelled, or you lose your job, or if you're a police person, you're scared stiff to be branded a racist.
So it's the woke are the thought police, and they're going against the racists, or the people that are scared to be branded racist now because they can't understand. It's not that, like, we've changed the definitions, it's just that you've become more racist. That's all. Or it's just like become socially unacceptable to be racist, but you were racist before, it always has been. Like, we're not changing the definitions and making it harder for people. You know, like, you weren't racist before and you're not racist now, but we've made it look like you are. That's not what's going on. You're not. But yeah, so the wokies are the thought police, and they're going against the racists who are basically bad, but should be. In fact, we should be more racist, if anything. In fact, get rid of the wokies and stop cancelling people for being racist. Okay.
The schools and the uni are run by useful idiots.
But you wouldn't know. You've never been to either.
Haven't got a clue what they're campaigning for. We've got so many bad
pick in the ear. Had a little pick in the ear there. What's in there? What's in there?
We've got so many.
What's in there? Bit of the pick in the ear. And his eyes go funny on the filter, don't they?
Bad people here.
And his ear does as well when he picks in it.
From around the world, that even if we catch them and put them in prison, when they get out, they're not even sent back to the
doodly 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 doodly.
The politicians.
Prodigy. That's really funny.
Literally are scared because they can't do anything about it. It's too late. So their answer is, shut up, else you'll be put in jail. Do not rock the boat, as you will be put in jail. Does that sound like the Great Britain you grew up in?
What? Big up, Steve. Thank you very much for the super chat. She interrupted me. Thank you very much for the super chat, for the 99p sticker. Thank you very much, Steve.
Do's and don'ts. Bang! Fact.
I'm a cat.
Ooh! I done a murder.
I love these buttons. This new board that I've put together. That's a really good board. Do you want to hear some classics? Do you want to have a classic?
There is no child porn on the internet. I hate to warn you that. There is no child porn on the internet. I checked. AD's sexual deviant. AD's a con man. AD's a crook. AD owes tax. AD.
It's not even the Great Britain immigrants want who came here 20 years ago. They don't want this. It's awful. Are you living a parallel life?
Are you living a parallel life?
Do you say things to your friends that you wouldn't say on Facebook?
You mean, are you a closet racist, or like, are you a secret fascist? Do you have racist thoughts that you can't post on Facebook? Like, what is it you can't say on Facebook that you'd like to say, that you say in real life, that Facebook won't let you say? What is that? You know, is it about conspiracy theories? Maybe, you know, the misinformation stuff, or like, what is it here that you know? Do you want to go? Listen, once we've sorted out the wokies stopping us from being racist, can we move on to sexism? Because I liked it before with the ladies, when the ladies used to be all like, where's my? I liked it before with the ladies. Look, oh, that's just the bottom half of the lady. Look, there's the other half of her. I liked it before. We'll look at this lady in a minute and what the men say about her. I liked it before with the ladies, the hot ladies, sexy ladies. They're still there. They still exist. It's just that now they think they can fucking say things and do what they want, which is basically just a fucking nightmare, isn't it? Like, you know, what happened to make me a sandwich and shut up and get this in your mouth and get up them stairs? You know, well, you need stairs for that. What happened to that? Well, I liked it before when a man was a man and a woman was basically just a fucking prostitute who made me sandwiches that I don't have to pay. What am I even doing now? I'm looking at Alan's TikToks. Oh no, where's Alan's TikToks? Remember that Blank Faces is on in a minute, isn't she? In 10 minutes. I'm going to be a bit longer than I was, but I'll still suggest, I'll still shout the blank. I'll get it up and I'll give you the link, and if you want to go and watch the Blank Faces. But I might just be a little bit longer watching Alan's TikToks and doing a little bit of Paul Arnott and showing you that lady. I've got to show you that lady because I promised it. I've got to show you what the men said about her.
Or anywhere else, public. Are you worried about the future?
You might be, because you're listening to far too much mainstream, slightly right-wing media. You might be worried if you spend too much time on the internet watching and listening to bollocks. Get out more, Alan. For fuck's sake, what's this, Project Fear?
It's 1984. Now.
No, it's 2024.
It's 2024.
Yeah, it's 2024. It's much later than 1984. We've gone on a bit since then.
Are you silenced?
You're obviously not silenced. You're on TikTok, you bellend.
Free speech disappearing down the pluggo, along with our culture.
Oh yeah, talk about free speech. Yeah, Elon Musk bought Twitter. You're right there, Covtown. Elon Musk bought Twitter, and it turned into a right-wing fucking cesspit. Now, if you go on Twitter now, right, you'll see pictures. Like, honestly, you go and watch any. I watch videos of like fucking TikTok dancers, what you call them, the Korean dancers, yeah. And I'm watching a Korean, skim to the next one, and after 2 videos, it's people fighting and some political thing about Donald Trump, and like, this is why lefties are this, and like, it's just insane over there. It's a cesspit, and I called someone a racist and got banned. So talk about free speech, like, yeah. I'm not banned now, it was a temporary, but I got a TikTok timeout for saying to somebody that I, pretty pointedly called them a racist. Yeah. Oh, we've got no, don't be too hard, Macabre Cadabra. We've got good culture in the UK. Like, one of the best things about the UK culture is that it's a conglomeration of lots of other cultures that we've allowed to sort of, gone around and conquered and this and that. No, but like, we take a bit of this, take a bit of that, and we grow and evolve. And we've got dancing and music and food and all sorts. Like, British culture has always been an adaptable and changeable, movable feast, so to speak. And obviously we're not going to go eating the same, but if you want, you could eat the same food. Like, King Henry VIII had a sort of chicken leg, King Henry VIII's chicken leg, but actually Elizabethan or Tudor food, or Stewardian, food or whatever. There was actually interesting stuff there, but then we went, they got the potato from from America, didn't they? And that came to Europe, and our culture and stuff has changed and evolved, and there's loads of good stuff. We've got different kinds of culture as well, haven't we? Different kinds. Some people like the Proms, and some people like Coldplay. So that's still bad. We've still got to work on that. But don't be too down on us. We're alright. We're alright. The good ones. I swear there was another funny one. I do want to see these. Look, I want to see these because regardless of what the content is, look at his face in this, yeah? Right? Alan's got a filter on here that slightly in some way accentuates his jawline, making him seem a bit more like a toughie with a jawline. And also, it's plumping his lips and it's making his mouth look like it's constantly open like this. Yeah? There's some fucking weirdness going on with this filter. Check this out.
You can't make this up, right? Angela Rayner has put a new law out today that strengthens renters' rights when they're renting a house, right?
Look at his, that's the bottom half of his face, and I'm not going to show you the rest for a minute, but look at it. Is that Alan's face for real? He can't even seem to close his mouth.
And they're landlords. There's a thing called where they, no reason.
He looks like George Michael or some shit. What kind of filter's this?
evictions, right, where the landlord hasn't got to give a reason for evicting them, and she's going to try to stop that down, no ifs and buts. She wants to protect people that rent houses from disgusting landlords, right? And she doesn't want people living in squalor. And so there you go, that's what she's going to do. She's going to do that. Social fairness and all that.
Why doesn't it look like his lips have some sort of lip thing?
Tenants in strong positions.
And they're going different colours while he's talking.
Challenge on reasonable rents, things like that. Look after them. Everyone deserves a right to have a
Like, who's this man?
home. And then, at the same time, she's the one that said, we're going to put
He looks like he's wearing makeup or something. What's going on?
illegal immigrants atop a council list. So any council housing that does come,
He
it's
looks
going
like
to
a
go to
Ken.
immigrants, really.
He looks like a Ken doll, doesn't he? Like, what's going on with that? Can't get my head around that. Looks like a fucking Ken doll. I like the way when you just slightly hover over them, he starts to move in some of them and it makes him look stupid. And this face, there's another one with his face. Look, see that face there? Like, what's that face? What's that face? Is that Alan? Is this one Alan? Do you know what I mean? It's like, is that Alan? Why does he look so different in these two? Like, how come he looks so different? This one, he's got his Hitler moustache on the left. With the fluid, like, they're two different filter sets, aren't they, in some way? Like, what's going on with his face? How can he have such a heavy fake tan in one and not the other? Like, what's going on with his face? It looks like he's been to the dentist and so, like, had some work done or something because he can't close his mouth or some shit. Like, what's going on?
Starmer. Smash the gang Starmer. Well, smash the gang Starmer.
And like, the filter, what's happening is when he's talking and moving his mouth, the filter's just sort of automatically closing his teeth and moving his mouth for him or something. Look at how thin his head looks. Like, what is this? It's some sort of weird, it's worse than those robots we looked at earlier. It's some sort of, like, Alan's been cloned. This isn't Alan.
Record number across on Saturday. 973 illegal immigrants broke into our country in 17 separate dinghies in one day. We've got to house those people. We've got to feed them. We've got to look after them for years and years and years, and none of them are going to be sent back or anywhere. Now, smash the gangs. French courts, we managed to catch 22 of these people, smugglers, right? 22.
Oh, he looks so weird in this.
On the day, a record number of illegal boat people came on 17 dinghies to my country and broke in. A new report has been released which will blow your mind. Britain is home to more illegal immigrants than any other European nation. They didn't want to tell you this. Hear me now. I'm telling you.
Hear me now. Like Ali G.
Hear this.
Why does he look so fucking weird? Can someone tell me in chat why he looks so fucking weird? Someone explain that to me. I know, because I've seen his face over and over again, because I've been looking at him for about 2 years now. Coming on 2 years. But, like, do you know what I mean? I've seen his face a lot. I know he doesn't look like that. Pretty sure he doesn't, you know. Pretty sure that Alan doesn't look like that. Aren't I? I'm pretty sure. Here's the Peter Folding movie. 8:30 p.m. That's coming up now, look. Let's get this. Kelly on Blank Faces doing a premiere now. The Peter Folding movie has put together all of Peter Folding's TV interviews. I'm putting it in chat there, boom. I've promised I'm going to talk about Paul Arnott and also talk about that lady. I'm going to finish the show, so I'm going to go on a little bit longer than the first half hour of this. But get over there, those, you know, you could probably have 2 windows open, your chuffers. Get over there and support Kelly in Blank Faces and, you know, watch the show. And in about half an hour to 40 minutes, I'll sign off here and I'll join in as well. So, do whatever, to be honest, do whatever you want. If you want to stay here as well, if you want to go there, you know, it's a bit stupid of me to tell you to leave my stream, to be honest. But if you hear what I'm saying, yeah? I didn't time it perfectly well. I knew this would happen. I always go on a bit longer than I thought, and I wasn't completely prepared for going short as well. Also, this nutter's doing Patreon, and I don't like to just watch his patrons live on YouTube necessarily sometimes, because like, it depends what he's going to say and whether I want to cover it, and you know, in what order. If I watch it live, I have to sit and wait for him to talk until he says it. You know, if he puts on a video and like it's on for 20 minutes, you have to watch it for 20 minutes. I'm not prepared to do that here now. So we'll cover the bastard, but we'll cover it on Twitch, and if it's good, it goes up on the internet, and if it's not, well, I did cover his reaction to the BBC documentary. I recorded it as a react, and I haven't uploaded it to this channel yet. I mean, I've uploaded it, but I'll probably just drop it as members content, because I just don't know if it fits the flow. But it's all good in the hood. Down the rapids. Last time we saw him, he got attacked by dogs. We're going to watch 3 of his... He's only done 3. So in a week. I don't even know if this one was... Like, I don't remember if... Like, he's not done very many. And he's done a video where he's in the he's done a video where he's getting his teeth done. Like, he's showing us the video for his teeth. So, I can't remember if we watched the teeth video last night. We watched these 3. And then I'll tell you, as I've said, there's a woman on the internet who's... and the men have said things... I don't want to cover it because I think it's funniest. So let's do Down the Rapids. 3 TikToks. You can't possibly just do 3 TikToks in a week, can you?
So guys, I think I have found the coolest coffee bar ever. Check this place out. It's absolutely stunning. Over here, this is where you get your coffee from. There's like a seating area here.
There's literally nobody there, but yeah.
These beautiful, beautiful views all of Halong. Absolutely stunning. I'm just going to go meet my friend round the corner, just around here.
It looks pretty concrete.
You come down these stairs again. Another beautiful seating area. I think there's a few girls here posing.
Ooh, hello. Hello, a few girls posing. Now that does catch my attention. Who's this? What's going on?
For Instagram. But look at this. It is so cool. It's so warm right now as well. I'm so excited to have some ice.
Listen, this would annoy me, right? I don't think he's going to be doing this because I trust it's just not his sexual predilection. But if his status as TikTok person with number and British, you know, like British TikTok person with number, like to the ladies of Vietnam who are doing their own TikToks and social media, if they thought he was cool and they wanted to sleep with him, and like they probably, because I'm confident this is the case with some of these chuffers, is that they think this is how British people are. He's a bit weird, but it's because he's British, and they let the weirdness go because they think it's Britishness. That would annoy me to no end, because number one, he shouldn't be getting away, you know, he shouldn't be getting his end away based on his nonsense. I don't think he is. I think he's into... Anyway, but number 2 as well, that would annoy me because we're not weird like him. Don't be letting him off being fucking creepy and weird because you think it's just Britishness. It's not. Do carry on, Paul. Sorry, what's his name? What's his name again? Dwayne. Like Dwayne Dibley. Or what's his name? Lloyd. Anyway, look.
Coffee. I'm just trying to find where we are sitting. I have no idea. Have a look.
Who's
at this.
we? Where are we sitting?
Stay. You've got games, books, everything. Look how beautiful the trees are.
I can see. Just stand still, you fucking bell end.
It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely stunning. Flowers up the top here.
There's the girls. Are they? They better be old enough. Hang on, wait. Are we? Can't really tell, can you? I assume they're... How does he know they're doing Instagram? Oh, how does he know that?
As well. It is so, so nice. So, so nice. Check it out, check it out. I just love the sunset as well, guys. Such a beautiful...
It's like constantly moving. It's this... I don't know why it's acceptable. Why does no one tell him just to slow down and point the phone at something and just stand there for a minute, like, or at least 10 seconds, like, you know, just stand there and like talk and show, like, this constant movement. It really does my nuts in.
Area, such a beautiful area.
I don't think he's even thinking about what it's like to watch one of his TikToks, you know. I just don't even think that crosses his mind.
You've also got a really big wheel over the top.
You like those, don't you?
Now in this area has been affected quite bad because there was...
Hang on, was that Masons? Look, it's all painted orange, and then there's this. It's like the devil, isn't it? The horns. It's fucking Masons.
Now in this area has been...
Big ups, Peter Folding songs. I can hear Peter Folding song in the background, because... Get over there, you chuffer. Get and watch that. I'm going to finish in a minute. If you feel like it. Oh, Alan.
Affected quite bad because there was a massive typhoon that affected Vietnam, and they're still trying to rebuild certain areas.
Oh, right,
so
yeah. Third world country that's gone through some sort of disaster. That's ideal pickings for TikToks, isn't it? It's great pickings. You know, there's that bloke wrote that manual, didn't he? Before he went to you know, that, I say bloke, that horrible, nasty little, you know, that wrote that manual.
A few of these beautiful, like I'm not sure what to call it, like these huge wheels and these bits that you can go up over the top. They are damaged at the moment, and normally the city is really lit up. It's a really beautiful area, but they are just repairing it.
He's spying those girls. He's going over and spying the girls as he wanders over. Look, he's giving them the look. I wonder what's going through his mind while he's giving them the look. Like, I'm cool and impressive because I'm doing my TikTok, or you're annoying me because you're making noise and I'm doing my TikTok, or can you see me doing my TikTok, or like just wandering around, talking into his phone, getting closer, having a look. It's very similar to when he swam into that girl in the sea.
But they are just repairing it. Luckily, this part of Vietnam is quite a rich area, so they are fixing things quite quickly. But have a look up here. Maybe this is the place where your boy comes and dances.
Oh, I get it. No, he was just looking to see that they'd moved out of the way so he could come and stand where they were standing, yeah? But he was definitely... Oh, no, they're just there over to the left, aren't they?
Just later on. Check it out.
I don't know where they are.
Check it out. We love it.
But he was looking out, you know, just to keep an eye on them. Right.
We love it. And down here?
Oh, no, yeah, he's pointing them out there down here.
We've got our boy down here.
Oh, no, that's the boy. That's a boy. That's a different person.
Absolutely stunning. Give us a wave.
Who is this boy?
Hey. Hey. It's so beautiful, guys.
Who is this boy? Like, what? Just introduce a random Vietnamese boy. Don't tell us his name or nothing. Like, it's just, that's it. We've got this guy. So, you know, check this place out. It's great. Could you imagine if I did this? Could you imagine if I did a video blog, yeah? Where I said to you, I'm in Vietnam, check it out. I've been having coffee. This is a lovely coffee shop. I really enjoy the vibes. You got this view over there. There's some girls. Don't worry about the girls. They're going to move out of the way in a minute. I'm over here now. And then, yeah, so here's your boy. Here's your boy, look. Here's your boy. I'm signing off now. Bye. And I didn't tell you who he was or anything. Just like, just some boy. Here's your boy. And he's just like gone.
But have a look up here. Maybe this is the place where your boy comes and dances later on.
Which boy? What, that boy? Or you?
Check it out. Check it out. We love it. We love it. And down here, we've got our boy down here. Absolutely stunning. Give us a wave.
We've got our boy down here, absolutely stunning. Do you mean the boy? It sounds like you described the boy as absolutely stunning. There's nothing wrong with being gay at all. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not being homophobic. But it's just that, like, the sort of narrative flow of this. It's just like, what?
Love it. And down here, we've got our boy down here.
We've got our boy. He does refer to himself as our boy sometimes, though. So you know, I don't like. It's just the way it sounds, like almost colonial. Like, you know, this is our boy. I've hired our boy. We've hired a boy for the weekend. This is our boy. Where's the luggage? Where's our luggage, dear? Oh, it's over there with our boy.
Absolutely stunning. Give us a wave.
Absolutely stunning. Give us a wave. He means it about the boy, not about the view. He means the boy.
Absolutely stunning.
Because he's just not describing the view, he's describing the boy.
We love it.
And he asks him to give him a wave. He means the boy is stunning, yeah?
And down here?
I mean, he's good looking.
We've got our boy down here. Absolutely stunning. Give us a wave. Hey.
Yeah, okay. I don't really feel comfortable giving you a wave, actually. I'm going to stop in the middle of giving you a wave because I feel like, what the fuck's happening here? Am I on camera? Like...
Hey.
Hey. I hope he knows him. Imagine if he didn't even know him. Imagine if he doesn't even fucking know him. Looks like just some randomer and he's just like pointed him out and like the guy doesn't even speak English and he's like, what? What's happening? Yeah, don't worry. Everyone in the world's going to think you're my, well, not my boyfriend, but that I've hired you to have sex with for the weekend. Anyway, don't worry about it, mate. Where are you from?
So beautiful, guys.
So beautiful. It looks like a bit of a bomb site down there over that bit, but like, let's not linger too much. But like, where are we and what's going on?
So beautiful.
Anyway, we're going to get a drink and we're going to sit down, and you'll never see any more about that.
So one thing, guys, that is so important, and I don't think people talk about this enough, is how important fitness and exercise is for mental health. Now,
right? Except you eat pom bears and fucking chicken burgers all the time.
For those of you who don't know, I started off my working career managing gyms.
How did you start your working career as a management position in a gym? How is that possible? I call BS. You didn't start your working career managing gyms. You can start your working career in gyms. I mean, maybe if you graduate, I suppose maybe if your first job, starting your working career, maybe you consider it after you graduate your working career. Maybe then you graduate and you get a job as a gym manager because you've got a sort of sports science degree. Maybe then, but even then, like, do you get the management job, like the manager's job? Like, that's a bit of a thing, isn't it? Like, you started your working career as the manager, or not the manager, managing gyms. I just think it's very vague, and it might be that you used to work in a gym.
And swimming pools and a bit of personal.
And swimming pools as well. That's just like what certain people, you know, when certain people say that they want to get a... Fuck you, Paul Arnott. Not everyone that works around children is bad.
Training. And every country I go to, I always try to find a gym. Now, I'm so excited because here in Vietnam, I've just paid for the whole month to train. And you know what? It's just such a nice gym. It's really, really quiet. There's nobody really in here. And there's really good equipment as well. But for anybody who struggles with eating or mental health, anxiety...
You struggle with eating and mental health and anxiety, don't you? All of those things, yeah. Fair play. Like, that's something to struggle with, I guess.
Depression, I highly recommend coming to the gym. The gym is so beneficial.
The gym, it's a bit like the Andrew Tate thing, isn't it? The old Andrew Tate thing. I mean, it's good for endorphins, I agree. You know, there's something positive about it, yeah.
There's loads of endorphins, it builds up your confidence, and it's just an all-round great activity to do. When
you're just wandering around in the gym.
Training hard, and you're not just doing cardio when you're pumping weights.
Pumping weights. I mean, come on, Paul.
This is so many feel-good hormones, guys. It really does, and it just improves your well-being overall. Get yourselves in the gym, guys. Big love. Big love.
It's fucking spinning me around. It's giving me seasickness, you bell end.
You know what, guys? Right now, I'm feeling the most healthiest I have ever been in my life.
Right, you've recently recovered from dysentery in India, and all you eat is pom bears and chicken burgers. Like, why are you feeling the most healthy you've ever felt in your life?
In gym like 2-3 times a day. I'm eating really good. I'm drinking so much water. Vietnam is such a good country. It just allows you to be such a good person. Not only this, everybody is so positive. Everyone encourages you
It's a bit of a weird, like, you know what I mean? Like, his behaviour, again, is weird. Like, I'm in Vietnam for a bit on my travels, so I've decided to basically settle in for a month, eat nice food, go to the gym every day, and just sort of, you know, work on. I mean, that's cool in a way, like, but it's like almost like living as a local, isn't it? With no real purpose other than to just go to the gym and fill your time. Like, it seems like the sightseeing's out this week. Like, he's needed to work on his mental health, or like he mentioned his mental health really. Like, and shouts out it's Mental Health Awareness Week. You know, mind.org. Like, I'm not going to diss mental health. Like, you know, if anyone's struggling with it, you know, mind.org is a great resource, and you know what we do. You know, I've done Mental Health Monday, the charity drives and stuff we do, and all that. Like, you know, we're good with that. So fair enough. But again, another strange week from his content perspective, which is basically fucking nothing. A minute to say he's been at the gym.
Be the best person you can. And you know what? It's so difficult to do this in England. It really is. Well, for me personally, it was so difficult for me to do this. And in other countries as well. In other countries, I've always struggled to get the right foods. Well, out here in Vietnam, I can get enough carbs in, I can get enough protein in, I can get enough water in. And it just allows you...
Why? What is it about Vietnamese food that allows you to eat it? Have they got really good chicken burgers or something?
To have that time in the day. It's such a beautiful place. I highly recommend anybody who wants to work on their fitness and all of this to come out to Vietnam, give it a go. I've had a lot of friends who have done similar things in Thailand, where they've gone off and they've learnt Muay Thai and special martial arts.
No, I've heard that. Yeah, I had a friend who went did that. Yeah, I get that. You're planning on doing that?
So they've gone off for a month at a time. But for me, guys, Vietnam is the place. So much love to everyone.
It's just like he's got a gym that looks like any Western gym, and a cheap hotel room or, you know, Airbnb for a month, and he's just going to live in that area now. Like, you know, it doesn't. There's something that I get a funny vibe from. You know, I keep telling you.
Awesome. Focus on your goals. Focus on your dreams.
What are your goals and dreams? That's him at his peak, and that's the week's content from Paul Arnott, who seems to be having a bit of a mini breakdown. If you ask me. You know, I'm going to kick myself because on the Alan front, there were definitely some of these TikToks that were funniest. Like, I watched them earlier and I was like, oh my God, I had a cheeky quip and something to say. And now I can't remember which one was what because they're all looking the same. I don't know. I'm a bit tired of it, if you know. You know, I don't think there's much value in his TikToks, really. But I did the job of looking through them to decide which one was worth watching and which one wasn't. I just didn't write them down because I thought, I'll remember that. There's only 3. So maybe I've already watched them. And finally, we've got a lady to talk about. Oh, look at her. She's saucy. Isn't she? She's saucy. Very saucy. Very saucy. Do you know how saucy she is? She's posted on the old Twitter, right? She's posted on Twitter. She's posted, I'll probably regret this, but if we had 24 hours together, like, bear in mind, this is probably not a real account. This is probably just like several saucy pictures to get people to engagement farm. And then, like, if you're nuts and you're fucking engagement farming with a picture of a saucy lady, like, maybe she is a real person. I'll just quickly click this. It says programmer and waifu. Like, so if she works as a programmer, apparently. Like, if she's a real person, she works as a computer programmer and looks like this, then I'll marry her, yeah, fine. But I get the feeling that it might just be a sort of fake engagement, like, you know, thirst trap on the old internet there. I get the feeling it might be one of those. So, but these comments are great. So I'll probably regret this, but if we had 24 hours together and nothing is off limits, what would we do? She asks. Yeah. What would we do? So some of these gentlemen have got some suggestions, I'll tell you. They've got some suggestions. I guess it's organised by Top Replies or something. Vet Soldier, and I can quite happily just read their names, it's just a bit of Twitter, it's fine, it's fun. Vet Soldier says, make homemade pizza, watch the show, movie of your choice, go to a science museum and spend quality time in bed. Like what? Hello? Hello? Make homemade pizza? What are you on about? Make homemade pizza? Watch the show or movie of your choice. I think she wants to watch a fucking movie. What movie do you want to watch? I'm dressed up like this, you fucking knob. Sit down for an hour and a half, getting popcorn down my shirt. Come on. Liven up. I don't think she wants to watch a movies. What film would you put on for her? Barbarella, I would. Barbarella. That'll get her in the mood. She already appears to be in the mood, I think. I think it is that. That's what I think, anyway. Because she said, what would you do with me, like, you know, if you could do anything you want, sort of thing. That's the sort of premise of it. If you could do anything you want, what would you do with me? And, like, so I think what's happened is some of these men have tried to, like, honestly, I think what's happened is, like, that they thought, well, I'm not going to say, like, just sex you up and, you know, bonk you, because then she won't want to bonk me. She'll think, oh, just a rude man. Just, you know, he's the sort that will just send me a picture of his weenus. So if they and they do want to have sex with her, though, that's the thing, is they do want to have sex with her, though. So, like, what they've done is they've said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to woo her through the comments. Yeah, I'm going to woo her through the comments. Hey, this page doesn't exist. What? Okay, it's still, listen, I've still got the comments here. It's a bit of fun. I've still got them, so I'm going to read them on our stream. But the page I'm looking for doesn't exist. I hope that she hasn't. If she's watching this, I think she looks wonderful. So I'd quite like to do sex to her, like all the other men. And also, I like computer games and having fun. And like, I'm a streamer. So if she's watching this, then do consider not considering this a diss, but actually considering this as, like, you know, the introduction to me. And, you know, you're a bit antagonistic or a bit of this and that, but we can still be friends, yeah? We can still be friends. Like, if she's watching this, like, surely she kind of taken that down because I'm streaming and, like, I don't know, like, maybe it's the bit when I said I thought she was like an engagement farm for fake clicks and stuff. Maybe it was that. Maybe she isn't, you know, have you bought an engagement farm for fake clicks? I don't know. It just seems a bit too good to be true. Do you know what I mean? On the old Twitter, it seems a bit too good to be true. And maybe that's a good thing if she's real. Like, I want to really hedge my bets here, because if she's real and she's watching this, like, because on the other one, on my other window, look, it's gone, page doesn't exist, then I would love to get married to someone who looks like this and does computer code. I assume computer coding means you also like computer games, and, like, you know, I play Genshin Impact and have fun. And, you know, I think if I've dashed my hopes with this lady by bringing it up on Nutterwatch because the men that are replying to her are saying funny things, that would be a real shame. But on the positive, I don't think I have, and we're now in communique. She's at least watching my stream, so she's probably thinks I'm quite good in some ways. Maybe we can get married. It'll be great. I'm looking to get you pregnant as well, so that's something that was like that's another thumbs up. And I'm worldly, and the other channel, Super Chuff, my main channel, have a look at that. I come across much better on there. What do you think's happening? What do you think's happening? Why does the page not exist anymore? That's such a weird one. She still exists. Her profile still exists. Hey, check this one out. I haven't looked at all her profile. Look, this one says, "This is a formal apology to my future husband. I'm so sorry that it took me so long to find you. Dating has been tough and so far unsuccessful. If you could leave a hint about where I should be looking next." Well, here, you found me. This is serendipity, if you're real and not a robot. Like, it's weird, this is. Why did the post disappear? Anyway, like, she looks really good in this. Shit. Way to blow your chances. Do you know, I've been looking for a really cute Asian girl with the... Anyway, look. What's going on? Is it photoshopped? Anyway, look, let's read the Michael Pritchard said, smoke weed, drink mimosas, play video games, have sex, drink mimosas, watch movies, smoke weed, have sex, order food, eat, drink mimosas, smoke weed, have sex. I get it, but like, I'm going to take out the mimosas because I don't drink, and really, I can play video games on my own. Like, if we've got the post says, if we had 24 hours and nothing is off limits, I'm not going to start with the video games. The having sex would be higher up on the agenda for definite, and the smoking weed is like, I don't need to put that in the list, it's just going to happen. Order food, yeah. I mean, am I going to bother? Probably not. Do I need to eat for 24 hours? Like, after 24 hours, I don't know what happens. Does she leave? Like, because I can eat later. I'm being very misogynistic, I know, but let's be real. Like, look, Chuck D says, a day full of adventure. Listen to this. I don't mean to be funny, right? But listen, if I was with a real lady that, like, you know, I was taking on a date, then I'd do date things, of course. Lovely dinner, you know, we could go to the theatre in my town, it's great. Like, there's all sorts of things we could go, you know, doing, and like, I'm worldly, and, you know, I'm a good date, yeah? But the offer here is dressed like this, yeah? If you could do 24 hours together and nothing's off limits, what are we up to? And I think it's a saucy, like, from a start point, I think it's like, I'd give you a kiss, you know? So just breakfast in bed, exploring the city, lunch, a movie. Do you want to be her friend? Do you want to be her boyfriend? Candlelit dinner and watching the sunset. At no point does he even mention sex. Look! Breakfast in bed. She's dressed up ready to go out. It is the daytime as well in the picture, so I don't know, like, I'm not getting you breakfast in bed. You're not even getting, you know, I'm dragging you out of the bed. You don't even need the bed. The floor's fine. The floor is fine. Surely. I'm calling the shots. It's 24 hours of unadulterated whatever the fuck I want, yeah? Nothing is off limits. So the floor will be fine. You cleaned, it looks clean. It looks clean. That's an advert. Watch cheesy movies from the 80s and 90s while I impress you with my ability to recite every line. You fall in love and my 24 hours turns into forever. If you want to play Dungeons and Dragons with it, yeah? Like, I'm not usually this bad for the misogyny, right? I'm not usually this bad, but it's making me feel like I should represent, like, in some way. Like, if you want to play fucking Dungeons and Dragons with her. And Dungeons and Dragons is fine, and I will play Dungeons and Dragons. We'll have nights in with the popcorn after the sex, because she's dressed all saucy on the internet. It's a sex trap. Where's your libido, man? Like, come on. Fucking watch movies. You fall in love, my 24 hours turns into forever. What, and then you get her to make the sandwiches. I will never get you to make me a sandwich. I'll never insist on any of that chauvinistic bollocks. I quite like cooking. I quite like doing things. I'm not bad for that. But the worst thing I am for, chauvinistically, is wanting to sort of do the sex and not watch movies from the 80s and 90s. I don't give a fuck about movies from the 80s and the 90s if you're dressed like this. If you suggest that we watch DVDs and you're dressed like this, I will take the DVDs and I will throw them from the window and say, we're not watching any DVDs. I don't give two fucks about DVDs. Look at how fucking saucy bottle you are. Bottle of hot sauce. Absolute bottle of hot sauce. Like, I can't even what is a DVD? Who even... You mean people talking on camera about things, pretending they're doing things on camera, and you're dressed like that, bottle of hot sauce, and you're real, and like I can do whatever I want. DVDs? You fucking what? Right, bring on The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. You can play fucking Dungeons and Dragons with the other one. You could bring on The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Are these people trying to be funny? You can play Dungeons and Dragons with the other one. You can fucking get off. I'm not just. You can be the tank, and he can be the elf ranger. We have got things to talk about in the other room. Okay. 3 words. Fortnite pizza party. This is they're taking the piss out of me now, aren't they? Fortnite pizza party. Go for a walk. Start a day-long adventure. Yeah, in the bushes having sex. So, like, I'm not just like, what the fuck are you on about? Here's somebody who understands. Juan Hernandez. Damn, that's nice as fuck. Yeah, she looks very attractive in this. Now, I think it's almost insulting to her that she'd get, like, could you imagine if you were with your partner and, like, you were downstairs just playing some video games, you know, maybe you'd made a handmade pizza, Scotty Hottie, or even, you know, pasta, you know, or anything that you possibly could want, like, if you look like this. If you're prepared to dress like this and give me 24 hours of whatever I want, whatever you could possibly want, like, I'm going to try and come up to scratch a bit, yeah? Obviously, within my parameters of being a slacker idiot who talks shit on the internet. Like, do you think she's watching? Yeah, like, so, yeah, there's that, right? So there's the positive and negative. Like, so the... She comes downstairs, I'm sat on the sofa, you know, eating some vegan food, watching some cool videos on the DVD. I'm not watching any DVDs. I'm just not doing that. She comes down, whatever it is I'm doing. Like the pizza that I'm eating gets immediately thrown on the floor. Just fuck it off. I don't care. What pizza? Forget it. What did you want? What are we doing? I think you're dressed. I like the way you're dressed. You look very, very, you know, a bit saucy there. Hot saucy. So, what are we up to then? You want me to call the shots? You want me to call the shots? What do you want to do? Go shopping? No. Go out to Pizza Hut? No. Dungeons and Dragons night? No. For crying out loud. Go for a walk. Where's she walking in those heels? All over your fucking testicles. You haven't got any. You're not going for a walk. Start of a marathon. That means sex. So there we go. That's a sexy one. Some good food and a hangout, followed by lots of kinky wild sex. So there's a balance there with Hunter there. Hunter's got the balance. He's a nice guy. He's going to treat you nice. You know, nice guys finished last night. I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to be some horrible monster. But when it's on the agenda and, like, you know, it's like, imagine if you book into an Airbnb and you turn up as the hot tub and she comes out in the brown bikini, like Nicole Kessinger, and you're like, ooh, I've just downloaded this latest season of Game of Thrones. Would you rather watch that? No, she wants to get in the fucking hot tub and have sex, you bet. So this guy gets it. Good food and a hangout. I don't know about the hangout. I don't know what that means. But, like, followed by the wild kinky sex, yes. But I'd get the food after, work up the appetite. You know, if you've, like I said, if it's a 24-hour deal, I've got 24 hours to do whatever I want, no holds barred, yeah? The food can wait. She won't be hungry, she'll be eating. Whoa! Scott's a misogynist. I'm shocked by some of these people that wrote these things. Do you play checkers? What? What even does that matter? And no, she looks like she's smart enough. She's an engineer, she said, so she's smart enough. My family, if you are watching, Harry, if you are watching, my history, my family, they are engineers. They built lighthouses, dry docks, all sorts. I'm assuming you mean software engineer, but you know, if you're an engineer, then again, we can talk. We're going to have a lot in common. You're going to want this DNA. You're going to want this DNA. It's good DNA. So... we should talk. Unless you're a robot. Do you play checkers? I know one thing, but no plans for the other 23 hours and 15 seconds. That's a good one. That's a funny one. But you can build up your strength again and go again. It's 24 hours, mate. Obviously, there'll be some breaks. Maybe look out and get to see you smile. That's the one you want to date. The one with no profile picture. This one says, talk about geeky engineering things like asymmetric encryption algorithms, the halting problem, and designing systems to allow 5-foot cute girls to reach the top shelf. Bless. Like, he's got all the engineering stuff, so you're going to like him because you've got a loading comment. But what it is it's just, it feels like a trap to put the engineering thing in so that the most geeky men get in, entrapped. It's like a trap system. But yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, and I wouldn't really, I could get into that stuff if you want to talk about it. I could learn some stuff. I understand in general, the concepts. I'm not stupid. I'm reasonably well educated, in fact. But I will not be talking about any of that. Again, can I remind everyone, this is the premise. Hello, 24 hours, nothing's off limits. Oh, can we talk particle colliders? No. You won't be able to talk about anything with that in your mouth. Anyway, look. What's going on? A trans-Antarctic expedition searching for the great beasts of myth rising up from ocean's depths. That one's a bit sideways. I don't know what to say about that. Probably trying to find the other pieces of that dress. Whoa. Whoa, hey, careful. Spend time together, make it meaningful, and just enjoy each other's company. It's not misogyny, it's the opposite of misogyny, isn't it? But it's not realistic either, is it? Because she's going to feel a bit annoyed, I think, because she's going to think, well, hasn't he even spotted? I'm absolutely fiery hot sauce. Hasn't he spotted that? He's spent time meaningful. Do you want to have a chat? Tell me about when you were young and, what your deepest fears are. Tell me about that later, after we've fucking, worn you out. If you like, I won't be listening. I'll be recovering my energy, sleeping, and on some sort of drip. Just Red Bull on a drip. Red Bull and Viagra on a drip. I won't need the Viagra, obviously, but just keep me awake and keep me hard. Stop talking to me. I've got 24 hours. We can talk about meaningful fucking... We can talk meaningful later. And we will. If it's real, and if it's real. This has been a really weird one, because the post disappeared, so I don't know. I would hate to think that someone that looks wonderful and is intelligent and, that ticks all the boxes of sexy, intelligent and all that would hate me because I fucking found them on the internet and talked about all those funny responses. In fact, I think this is much more likely that within maybe 6 weeks to 8 weeks I can be dated if she's real, because I'm not convinced at this point. The internet, if she's real, she would understand as well. It's the internet, isn't it? But if she's real, I would say there's every chance that we could be dating. Within about 6 weeks, you could see me in one of these pictures. Well, probably not, because it wouldn't help with the men looking at her on the internet, would it? It'd be negative. Or maybe she's just looking for a boyfriend, and she thinks this is the way to go. Because it is, in a way, it's going to attract men, but in a way, it's going to attract the wrong sort, I think, maybe in some ways. Although they're all pretending to be really nice in the comments. I would warrant that some of them might change their ideas about what they'd want to do if you turned up and bent over. They're still going to be just put the DVDs on. Maybe they would. Maybe they're scared. Maybe this is just it's not attracting the right men. Maybe it has because it's attracted me. Maybe I've been manifested. I'm really confused. But yeah, if it's real, then thumbs up. Send me a DM, and I'll get you on the show. We'll get married. We'll have wonderful, smart, beautiful children. And if not though, I'll be back to read some more comments from some funny comments maybe in the future. Who knows? I'll tell you what, they certainly get a lot of views on the old TikTok. Certainly get a lot of views. Too many for me to think they'd be bothered about my silly little internet show. So. It's a weird one. Bless her. If she's real, bless her anyway. Bless her. I'm not saying anything negative about her. I hope you notice. Yeah. We hate you anyway, Chuffer. Thanks. Come on, Buttons. Listen, I've gone on way too long.
Torchy. Torchy. That. I remember Torchy when I was a little tiny boy. I used to love Torchy. Torchy the battery boy. Torchy the battery boy.
I've gone on too long. So that's my show for the night. And Blank Faces is on doing their premiere, which I've linked to earlier in the chat. I was looking for someone who wants to dress up like this and like cosplay and mess about. But you know, this is completely acceptable as well. So still looking to create a baby. Still practicing. So anyway, there's loads of content coming. There's loads more. Loads of content coming. Watch this space. Dropping members content this week as well, I think, or next week, depending on how quick I can upload it. And we are reacting to Nicola Bully documentary over on Twitch. You won't see that on Super Chuffer actually. We'll talk about it another time. I'm going to be uploading it to Super Chuffer. You won't see it for a week and a half or a little bit longer. Anything else I need to talk about before I go? I know you don't hate me, yeah. I know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll bring you Alan's patron if it's any good. If there's anything worth it there. I imagine his court case is coming very soon. There's been some movement on his trial, some movement on it, but we don't know what it is off case board. We need to keep looking into it. But of course, things will happen. I want to drop the Coco Allen song the day before his court case, but I might not get to. Who knows? But yeah, his court case is coming up, so I think his patron might be about that. But if it's about some nonsense or going on about immigrants, I don't want to bring it to you. But overall, yeah. You're all good, aren't you? You're all good in the hood. So this time next week, everyone. This time next week. And maybe in the week as well. This week. Who can say? I've got loads more nutty, this was the announcement as well. Chufferwatch. I might start doing Chufferwatch as well as Nutterwatch. So just nutty people who aren't bad chuffers, just chuffers, Chufferwatch, so look out for that, I guess. It's not all doom and gloom. What should we finish on? I should have lined up the finishing song. Thank you as always to everybody who gave me any tippies, any donations, any super chats. Thank you to everyone who's upgraded. When you renew your membership, or if you choose to be a member and it auto rolls on and stuff, thank you very much for that. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing with anyone that you think's got a similar taste in whatever this is. Yeah, always feel very grateful that we've whatever this is, whatever's happening, whatever's going on, I feel very grateful it is. Just looking for a funny song out of my Sunos. I've got some funny songs that I can't play you, I think. And yeah, don't let the bastards grind you down. You're good, aren't you? You're good. And if you can't be good, you're naughty. I can't find my cool songs. That was the wrong one. That was the wrong one.
Chuffer is the boss. Alan found out and it cost him his YouTube. See what fools do when they don't be truthful. Narcs will use you, but only if you are useful. Chufferman is crucial. You needed me to defeat the evil. Bing Bing is dead, but there are devils still dancing. The Chufferman comes and keeps advancing. Dancing loud if you are alive and living. Eddie's so mad he end up committing. He's twisted, he's a sickie. He loves to give you key and kissing. Chufferman is the boss. Eddie, you lost on day one. The Chufferman is the boss, and you can't match.
Yeah, get over to Kelly's stream. I still got that link that I can share. Did it get dropped in chat earlier? I should have pinned it. I'll get it up and I'll link it in chat before we go.
The action you lost. Take pot shots with do-wats, but you got nothing. Spot drops blocks that get the block rocking. It's shocking that you come up against a proper rapper with your pants down. Get back to New Zealand, there's no demand for your crap now. You clown, you got banged by the chopper, slammed by the chopper. The best stuff you do is blind next to Chuffer. Chuffer so spicy. You can't stand with a Chuffer. You get banned from the Chuffer if you can't play nicely. You're once a week, wheat tea and muffins. Chuffer is twice a night, giving you a stuffing. Think I'm bluffing, I'm holding all aces. You ain't going nowhere, but you talking cases. Burnham Manning is a racist. Luke sucks the Masons. John Wedger is a Satanist. Shouts out to blank faces. The Chuffer Man is the boss. Eddie, you lost on day one. The Chuffer Man is the boss. Eddie, you lost on day one. The Chuffer Man is the boss, and you can't match the action you lost. You're mashing on potato rusty. You're trash and I'm far too costly. I'm fresh green, you're moist and mossy. Wake up to the coffee, Scott's hot and you lost. The Chuffer Man is the boss. Eddie, you lost on day one. The Chuffer Man is the boss, and you can't match the action you lost. You're mashing on potato rusty. You're trash and I'm far too costly. I'm fresh green, you're moist and mossy. Wake up to the coffee, Scott's hot and you lost. The Chuffer Man is the boss,